welcome! Today I'm going to teach you an awesome stitch, the Jacob's Ladder stitch. Now this is ideal for blankets. I've never seen it done with wearables, although I bet a hat with this stitch or even a sweater could be very interesting. It's a very simple 2-row repeat, meaning that once you've done the 2 foundation rows, it's the exact same all the way up to the top of the blanket until you bind it off right here at the top. Now it's important to note I use US terminology in all of my videos, and here's a list of all of the stitches you are going to see in today's video and that you would need to know in order to do the Jacob's Ladder stitch. If you need a brief refresh on how to do any of these stitches, I'll make sure to put a link up here in the upper right hand corner for my crochet fundamental playlist. That way you can brush up on that. Before I get into what materials I used to make this awesome little swatch, I'm going to ask you to please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button on this video. Go ahead and subscribe so that you are notified every time I release a new video. I have a new video out every single week. Now, to make this swatch, I used this Boye Ergonomic crochet hook. This is 5.75 millimeter hook, or US size J, and I used Mainstay yarn, which can be found at Walmart in colors, bet you can't guess, white and green. I kid you not, that's the name on the label. They keep it really simple. This yarn is not the best quality. It's a little bit scratchy, but it is great when you are just trying to learn a new stitch. I like to use this for my videos because it doesn't cost a whole lot, and for practicing or making up little swatches like this, it is perfect. Now that we've talked about everything you'll see in this video, let's get to it. First things first, you're going to make a slip knot. Now I go over this in all of my videos and all of my crochet fundamental videos. So if you don't know how to make a slip knot and chain, I recommend checking out one of those videos. I have a whole playlist of them. I've linked them before in this video, and I'll make sure every time I introduce a new stitch, I'll include the link in this upper right hand corner. But for now, we are going to chain a multiple of 7 plus 2. And the reason it's a multiple of 7 is because I want there to be 7 stitches in between all of my ladders, all of my braided sections. So if you want there to be a bigger gap, you'll use a higher number. If you want there to be a smaller gap, you'll use a smaller number. But I want there to be a gap of about 7. So I'll do multiple of 7 plus 2. For me, that's going to be 30. So I'll go ahead and get my chain of 30 going, and I'll check back in with you at that point. Okay, I have my chain of 30 right here. Now we're going to do one of our 2 foundation rows. Starting in the 4th chain from the hook, we are going to double crochet across. So a reminder that this little loop over the hook does not count as a completed chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to double crochet starting here. Then double crochet in each stitch all the way across. For me, that equals, including this turning chain, a grand total of 28 stitches. Now that we've double crocheted all the way across, we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and do a single crochet in each stitch all the way across. Alright guys, now that I've reached the end of my single crochet row, I'm actually going to go ahead and change colors for you guys. This will allow you to see the ladders and the different rows a little more distinctly. Now that I've swapped colors, I'm going to go ahead and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll turn my work. Now we're going to double crochet 6. So this first chain 3 is this turning chain is going to count as a double crochet. So we will not work into this very first stitch. We're going to instead work right here. And we'll do 6 stitches again. So that's 1, 6. And again, if we're counting this first chain 3 right here, that's 7 double crochet across. Now we're going to chain 9. In all reality, this number is customizable depending on how tight or how loose you crochet. You may want to add more or less. I find a lot of people say to do 10. I feel like 9 is just a little bit better for for my particular tension. Now that we have our chain of 9, we are going to attach this back to that last double crochet we made. And I do that by inserting my hook under the front loop of my last double crochet and through this little loop that's on the side of my double crochet. Then again, we're just slip stitching that in place. And that slip stitch even is optional. If you don't want to do the slip stitch, that's totally fine. You can ignore that step. It's just a matter of what will be easiest for you. I find it's easiest to secure this and slip stitch, but again, it's entirely up to you. Now we're going to double crochet in the next 7 stitches. Seven. Excellent. Again, we are going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again, attach via slipknot to that last double crochet. And you can honestly attach this however you'd like, but again, I use the front loop of my last double crochet and then through a loop that's on the side of my double crochet. And you'll repeat this all the way across. Ladies and gents, I've made my last little loop and I've sealed it with a slip knot. I'll then do 7 double crochet until I'm at the very end of my row. Now we're going to chain 1, turn my work, and we'll put a single crochet in each stitch all the way across. Make sure that you single crochet into this double crochets from the previous round on either side of that loop. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to see. It helps if you think about 7s every time. So I single crochet 7 and then I come to my loop. When you come to your loop, you'll push your loop all the way forward and then work into this next one. It's important that you always push your loops to the very front every time. Now we'll single crochet 7, push my loop all the way forward, and start in that next stitch. Do this all the way across. Now that I've reached the end of my row, I'm going to change my colors again for you guys. Again, I'm doing this so you can very easily see some of the benefits of this stitch. Chain 3, I'm going to go ahead and just, I've chained 3, I'll turn my work. We are going to double crochet across, and there will be 6 double crochets and the turning chain. So if counting the turning chain, 7 double crochets. Now we'll chain 9, secure that loop to the last double crochet you made with a slip knot, and double crochet 7. And it really is this easy, guys. You will do a row of double crochets and you'll have the loop of 9 chains in between each section, and then you will have a row of single crochets all the way across. Repeat that until you've reached your desired length. One last color change, everybody. Okay, I've reached my desired length for this, which I'm just doing a couple of rows so I can show you how to do this. We're going to chain 3 more. We're going to double crochet across. We will not be making any loops this time through, just double crocheting in every stitch across. All right, everybody, I have finished the first of my ending rows, but first I need to show you how to make these loops into braids. You have to do that before you can finish off your blanket or project or whatever you're going to do. So we are going to take each one of my loops. We're going to bring the loop from above it through and bring it up just like that. You can do this with your crochet hook if you really want to. I prefer doing it with my fingers. I don't know if either actually has any advantages. I just like how, I like the tactile feel of doing it with my fingers. Perfect. Excellent. Now that we have all of these, at the very top, all of my braids are done. I'm going to come back with my hook. I'm going to chain 1, and we are going to single crochet all the way across. But as we do, we are going to catch these loops. So as I've talked to you before, I'm working in groups of 7 this time. So I'll have 7 single crochets here. And now before I do my next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to grab my loop, I'm going to do yarn over and pull through both the loop and my previous rose stitch. Perfect. Single crochet 7 again. Insert my hook. Grab my loop. Yarn over and pull through both the loop and my stitch. Finish off my single crochet. Do this all the way across until you are at the very end of your row. Now I'm going to chain 3, flip over my work. I'm going to do one more row of double crochet across the top here, just so we have that nice finished look. Now I'll go ahead and cut my yarn, pull my loop through, and voila! Here is the Jacob's Ladder stitch. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please keep an eye out for next week's video. I release a video every single weekend that is either a step-by-step stitch tutorial, just like this one, or a beginner-friendly pattern where you can practice what you've learned. Until then, thank you again, and ta-ta for now.